Welcome back to another Wolfpack Entertainment movie review. As promised, I did the review of the newest Masters of the Universe. So today, I needed my partner in crime so we can talk about the 1987 Masters of the Universe that was not quite as true to the lore. Obviously, I'm the Wolf, and this is
the Wingman.
And we're here to talk about some 80s nostalgia.
That seems to be our go-to, doesn't it?
I think it's because that's what we know the best. Because we grew up with it, and we know what that is the best. So, if you haven't seen the video where I reviewed the latest incarnation of Masters of the Universe, be sure to go down below, hit that link, go watch that. And make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Let us know what you thought about all of this. And keep joining us for this excellence in entertainment. Enough of the advertisement stuff. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes that is Masters of the Universe. Now, here we go. I remember watching that movie. So I did not see it when it first came out because I was still pretty young. So I think I was like 5 or 6, so probably like 88, 89, 90, somewhere in there. I watched it.
So I was right around 10 then.
Yeah, when I
there's like a 5-year difference between two of us.
Yeah, because I was born in 84, so I was, He-Man was in its heyday, like when I was a baby. So.
78.
And then once it started to really, when I got old enough to understand it, I had like the Sword of Power, and it was still, it was still popular throughout the 80s. I don't think it really started to die off. I mean, you could probably get into the numbers of it, probably 87, because really this movie, the 1987 film, was kind of made as a last-ditch effort to continue to sell the toys. And then
because I was always watching the cartoon.
The cartoon, yeah. So
I had quite a few of the figures too.
That's the first thing I want to talk about is
Snake Mountain,
with Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull. So you guys, we're under the understanding. So we have to remember. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was literally, the cartoon was made as a way to sell the toys. Yeah. So they started developing the toys first, and then the toys were going to come with comic books that kind of told the backstory, but they decided that they needed to have, in fact, you can find pictures of some of them. And in fact, there is a comic where Superman enters into Eternia, and Superman and He-Man battle Skeletor.
Yeah, I remember the comic books being with
yeah, I don't know if it really ran or if it was just an idea, but they absolutely.
I think it was just an idea.
They absolutely had a plan to do that, and so like everything that they did was to sell these toys, and then it turned into the show. Filmation got a hold of it and everything, and so, I mean, at one time, I mean, He-Man. I think when He-Man started to taper off, that was about the time Ninja Turtles really was taking off.
Yeah.
And Ninja Turtles
that was something else I had a lot of figures for.
Yeah, that kind of took over as the main toy. Maybe. I don't know, Transformers was kind of in the same time period, but...
Transformers, G.I. Joe.
Yeah. So the Masters of the Universe, so as a background, it is one of those movies that I consider it a cult classic because it has gotten more of a love for it, I guess, now than it did then because it it bombed. And let's be honest, it's a bad movie. Like, it's not a good movie. Like, if you're like putting it up there and you're talking about what, like, just how good movies, it's not a good movie as far as like technically.
They didn't have a lot of the main characters in there.
No, and
they had the main ones, but
yeah,
they didn't have any of the main side characters.
And that was the biggest problem with the movie. So it strayed away, just like the Mario Brothers movie. It strayed away from its original source material so much that it really. It hurt it, and then obviously the popularity was dying at the time, but it was made by Canon Films, and Canon ended up going bankrupt after this movie because it was so bad, and Canon is also the one that did like Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone and Superman 4, which if you remember, it was absolutely god-awful. Superman 4 is way worse, I think, than Masters of the Universe.
My big drawback for Masters of the Universe is the fact that Battle Cat is actually not in the movie.
You don't see Cringer and Battle Cat, and so the whole aesthetic of it is different. And so we've got a list of obviously some of the characters and who played what, but everybody knows He-Man was played by Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And they were really concerned initially. He looks the part. I mean, he's big burly guy, you know. But that was like one of his first starring roles because he'd been in Rocky, but he didn't really speak much in that. And they were afraid that they were going to have to dub over all of his lines because of his English not being clear enough. And there's a whole story behind that, but they ended up using his audio. But it's a tale of two actors. The two lead actors are Dolph Lundgren, who plays He-Man, and then Skeletor's played by
Frank Langella.
Frank Langella. He's
or Langella.
yeah, or I think it's Langella or Langella, however you want to say it. He also played Perry White in Superman Returns.
Oh, okay.
But he's been in everything. He's a good actor. Dolph Lundgren actually did not like the movie, and I guess production on it was a crap show because they were running out of money while it was happening, and everything was rushed and all the things that usually.
That's why it's such a bad movie.
That's usually what goes into a bad movie, like, and then a bomb. But Lundgren doesn't like the movie, and he didn't like the movie because he was like, I'm just playing a toy, and so. But Langella, he loved it. He will still to this day talk about how much he loved making Master of the Universe, and he loved playing Skeletor. And honestly, if you go and watch it, you can tell he's like having a blast making this movie. And so he is like, it's like the tale of two stories. The hero hated it, and the villain loved it and loved making it. And they do tease it,
ironic, don't you think?
A sequel, but the sequel obviously never happened. But so that was one of the biggest problems Ken talked about, is that they just didn't have the characters we thought we were going to see. They didn't see it. Who were the ones that we actually had? Like, obviously
from the cartoon.
Yeah, Evil Lynn.
Yeah, Evil Lynn. We had Tila, Sorceress, of course, and Beastman. That's the only.
And Man at Arms.
Those are the only ones that I remember.
Yeah, those are the only ones that are really from the cartoon.
Orko wasn't even in it.
No, Orko wasn't in it, and they had what was the name of the Gwildor?
Yeah.
Gwildor.
Played by Billy Barty.
And he was kind of like the Orko replacement. And he's also in Willow. He's the old wizard in Willow, and a couple other things. But so right away, people.
Willow was a character though.
I actually think he's one of the better parts of the movie. Like, he's funny. Like
him and his cosmic key.
Yes, his cosmic key. I thought he was one of the funnier parts of the movie. I liked him. You know, so we told you the faults. Obviously, it's an '80s movie that didn't have enough money and didn't have enough power behind it, and a company that was failing, and your star didn't like being in it. So obviously, that's a recipe for disaster. But it is such a product of the time that it's like a time capsule with the haircuts and the music and just the vibe of it, that it actually feels it's actually a fun movie to watch. Like, it's bad.
Type
it's bad, but it's like good. You know, it's like one of those Mystery Science Theater.
It's bad in a good way.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that's
it's not good in a bad way.
It's so bad.
It's
so bad it's good. That's what it is. It's kind of like Howard the Duck. You know, it's got like that same kind of weirdness to it. Well, and one of the biggest things with it, like, and we'll talk.
I actually like Howard the Duck better than I do.
Master of the Universe. Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to touch on with it is, you know, it's basically set in on Earth like the whole time. I think they're in New Jersey or something, and the reason
possibly I'd have to research that.
Yeah, the reason for it is because they didn't have the budget to build Eternia. They couldn't build Eternia, so like
they barely had enough money to do what they did.
Yeah, they almost so the film almost did not get made. So if you're just trying to know odd facts, the film almost didn't get finished because they ran out of money before the final fight between He-Man and Skeletor, and it almost didn't get filmed. And the director, I don't know what he did, sold blood or whatever. He did something to get enough money to finish it, and that's why that final battle scene looks so rushed, and it's like all dark and because they were probably filming it in somebody's garage or something, just trying to get the movie made.
Why is this sounding?
Yeah, it's like I mean, low budget filmmaking. I know what that's all about. So we
make it work.
We're like the MacGyvers of filmmaking. we just make whatever we have work. That's how you do it. And
a lot of times we don't even have a budget.
No, usually it's a $0 budget. Exactly. I'm cheap anyway in real life. one of the things with the movie is the story. This is if you're spoiled, if anything is spoiled for you, this movie is like 40 years old. So if I don't know what to tell you, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you what happens in the movie. Skeletor takes over Castle Grayskull in the very beginning. Then we shift to Earth, and it's centered around
the cosmic key.
The cosmic key.
Portals.
Yeah, it opens up portals, and that's why they're trying to get Woldor, who's this little wizard-looking guy. And then what's her name? That Courtney Cox's character, Julie.
Yeah.
Julie. So
Julie Winston.
She's like the main character, and she's trying to leave town. She's getting ready to cut ties.
Main Earthling.
Yeah, main Earthling.
One of the two main Earthlings.
And that's the thing, we focus on that part of the story so much.
Her boyfriend Kevin.
I feel like He-Man almost becomes a side character in his own movie because you've got so much of the Earthlings, and she's trying to leave town because her parents had passed away, and she's trying to cut ties with everything.
It was a car crash.
A plane crash. They died in a plane crash.
I knew it was a crash of some kind.
Yeah, so they died in a plane crash, and then her and her boyfriend, they end up finding the cosmic key, and then He-Man jumps through the portal from Eternia.
If I remember correctly, he thought it was like a synthesizer.
Yeah, he thought it was he says it's a one of those new Japanese synthesizers, man, and he's like playing it and stuff. And what it does is it's like this little machine, well, not that little, but a machine, and certain tones and keys will played in the correct order will open these portals in between, like a wormhole.
Like forks or something that spun around, and then it was spun around as well.
Yeah, it opens up a portal, like a wormhole between dimensions and stuff. Which that's honestly, that's not a bad sci-fi idea. Like, it's a cool idea.
I think we've had a few like that.
Oh, there's so many. Well, and that's like He-Man and his crew jump through, and then Evil Lyn and their crew obviously go after him because they want to get this key, and so the battle takes place on Earth, and there's all the fighting and stuff. And thinking about the fighting's like real cheesy, like typical '80s. Like for some reason, He-Man's using a laser gun like it's Star Wars or something. And there are so many rip-offs of Star Wars in it that I forgot.
Now, I can understand the use of guns with Man-at-Arms.
Yes,
but not He-Man. He was always just...
And his sword, the sword of power doesn't look anything like... It just looks like a medieval... It looks like Conan the Barbarian sword or something. Well, all the fighting is kind of lackluster because they're like shooting and stuff. And it's not bad, but there's all these foot soldiers, but they're robots. They're all robots. And the reason why all these foot soldiers that He-Man is killing are robots is because there was a rule from... the toy manufacturer that He-Man couldn't kill anybody in the movie, so they made most of the villains into robots, so that way if he killed them, it was okay because it was a robot, not a person, not a living being. And that's why they look like junky stormtroopers is what they look like to me. Like, there's a lot of different things that I saw.
Kind of a nod to Ninja Turtles as well.
Yeah, the Foot Clan. They're expendable, is what I'm saying. They're all expendable, but. It's that movie's not even. I don't even know if it's 2 hours long. It felt longer than that, but
I want to say an hour and a half.
Yes.
Maybe hour 45 minutes.
I miss when movies were shorter like that.
Yeah.
I get my patience starts to run out when the movies are 2.5, 3 hours. I'm like, hey, let's get to the point. There's too much filler, but to talk about the positive, we kind of riffed on it. We kind of joked about it. The bad filming, the bad budget, all those different things. But there is still like a charm to it because I think the sci-fi parts of it are pretty neat. Like some of the story ideas are pretty good. It's just...
And pretty much any kind of scene that Gwildor was in it.
Yeah, those were great. Those were fun.
Like when they got food.
Yeah, when he gets the Kentucky Fried Chicken, he shoots like a grappling hook and grabs it.
Yeah.
And then they don't realize it's meat till they're eating it. And then Tila doesn't.
Yeah, Tila says something about kind of interesting that they put it on these little
white sticks. Yeah, and he's like,
there's Man-at-Arms that says those are rib bones.
Yeah.
Like this came from an animal.
That's so. Or like
she's got to be vegetarian.
So are they vegan?
Yeah,
is she a vegan or a vegetarian or something?
Of course, Gwildor.
It tastes good. He's like, it still tastes good. That's the thing, it does.
Like I said, tasted.
Yeah, it tasted good. Yeah, it tasted good. The movie has like a lot of redeeming qualities, and after watching it years later, your disappointment as a kid and not seeing what you wanted to see kind of goes away, and you kind of appreciate it for what it is. That a product of its time. It's kind of a time capsule. I mean, you got Dolph Lundgren with a mullet. I mean, what's not to like about that? But we don't even see him, raise his sword of power till like the very end, and you've been waiting for that because he's He-Man the whole time. There's no real Atom of Eternia. I almost see it as like an Elseworlds type of. It's like in the Masters of the Universe cinema or like storytelling universe, but it's like its own thing, kind of.
Yeah, I kind of got that too.
It's like an alternate type of and a lot of that had to do with budgeting and stuff. Like they didn't use Orko because they literally couldn't afford to like make Orko, and there are
some. Do it for like $5.
Yeah, they should just had a puppet. Like it had like Frank Oz or somebody doing a puppet like Yoda. But they some of the special effects when I'm watching it were ahead of its time. Like there were some pretty cool special effects. Like some of them they look dated because they're dated, but there were some pretty cool special effects. Like when the wormhole opens up, just when He-Man and them are diving into it, they were shooting laser shots at them, and because of it was like sucking in the light, you can see the beams like curl down, like almost like they were getting sucked. It was kind of cool. I was like, wow, that was whoever thought of that to think that far into it. That was a good idea. And like even Skeletor's.
Someone did actually think of that.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. They had a lot of cool, like when they had when Skeletor's on Earth. I thought that some of the vehicles they were on and stuff those were pretty well done, and
they still look cheated.
They do, yeah, especially for that. But at the time, I was trying to look back and think about it. Like, at the time, that was pretty decent. Like for the time period, that it was pretty decent. There's just the biggest issue with the movie is you have to go into it watching it and not expecting it to be exactly like the cartoon. Because if you expect it to be exactly like the cartoon, you will be disappointed. And little kid us. We were disappointed. You watch it years later.
I mean, I still liked it at the time. But
yeah, I liked it at the time, but I remember being super disappointed about no Battle Cat, no Orko. Really, only one of the villains, bad guys with Beastman. It was about the only one because there was.
He didn't even really look like Beastman. If I remember correctly.
And Evil Lynn, I guess technically, but you didn't have
Evil Lynn did actually kind of look.
She looked
like
the part pretty well, yeah. Skeletor obviously didn't look anything like it, but he did a good job. Like he was.
Yeah, Skeletor kind of looked like a knockoff of Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, it kind of did. Yeah, and I wonder too, like why they didn't just try to. I don't know. I can't try to figure out what they did with that movie. Like I wasn't making it. So,
that's too far in the past.
Yeah, it's too hard to figure it out. But I can kind of see what they were trying to do with it. Was it all well executed? Probably not, but if we
kind of a gray area.
Yeah, if we summed it all up, like all of the faults, but also factoring in, and you have to factor in nostalgia because that's why we're here, the keepers of nostalgia, and the things that they did do well. I think that honestly, 39 years later, we are here. It's worth watching. It's a time capsule of the 80s. And it probably got a worse reputation than it deserved because it really wasn't, as far as just a filmmaking. If we just take it for just a filmmaking side of it, you can tell they put the effort in. There were some decent special effects. The story wasn't terrible. It just was not a great adaptation of He-Man. If it had been anything else, I think it would have done okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On a score of, say, 1 to 10 being, top notch.
Yeah.
And 1, of course, being dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Where would you put it at?
I would probably put it around like a 6, maybe. Probably about a 6.
I was thinking 5 myself.
Yeah, and that's probably giving it a little bit of a bump from nostalgia.
Yeah.
The nostalgia of it. And
taking nostalgia away from it, I'd probably put it like a 3.
If you're counting just purely the movie itself, like now if I were to disregard the old feelings for it and stuff, and just if I
like
said
if you didn't know
that it was
universe
He-Man, yeah,
He-Man.
and you were just watching it just to have fun, I would say I'd give it a 7 just for pure entertainment value. You know, so it's
probably be the same.
It's a weird scale with it because you know
Yeah.
you can't look at it without remembering what it was when you were a kid watching it, also what it was supposed to be, but at the same time you can still appreciate for what it did well. I think, you know, honestly, as bad as some of the stuff is in it, I've seen a whole lot more modern movies that are way worse than that. Way worse than that. Way further removed from the source material and everything else. I mean, we've got some modern stuff.
One that stands out on that note is Blair Witch Project.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. Nothing can match the original.
I had to keep going back like 15 times just to watch the entire thing.
Nothing really can match. I will say this for the original Blair Witch Project. Before being like something going viral and found footage was really kind of a thing that people latched onto, they did an amazing job marketing that movie. Because people thought they really were missing. Like, people thought that those people, they were just actors and they were walking around in the woods. Like, that had to be the cheapest movie to make. Yeah.
I know another company that actually did something like that.
I feel like there was...
I'm not exactly sure who.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, I don't know, it had to do something with like this, I don't know, like a Slender Man or something, I think. I don't remember. You guys should look for that and see if we're right about that. Well, I would say, so if we're giving it just a purely base score on watching it today without thinking about it, enjoyment factor, 7. It's a fun movie to watch.
Solid 7.
If you're looking at it as far as everything else tied in together, I'm giving it barely a 6, and Wingman's giving it a 5. I do encourage you, if you haven't seen it in a while or you've never seen it, watch it. Go watch it. Have fun.
Make your own opinion.
Make your own opinion. Our opinions are just for fun, just like yours. We can agree to disagree, and that's what the point of the channel is, to remember things and see who liked what, defend it.
And once you have your opinion, come back, put it in the comments.
Let us know what you thought. And one more plug for the new one. Man, if you watch this, the 87 version, you will be so ecstatic when you watch the 2026 version.
I actually haven't seen the new one yet, but I already like it.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Just from the previews alone.
As soon as it's on video, like VOD, I'll get it so we can watch it again and have fun with it.
Because you actually do see him as Adam, and you also see him as He-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, the new one's much better.
The one in 87 didn't have that.
No.
It was just always He-Man.
Just always He-Man. There's no real backstory. It just kind of happens. Everything it assumes you know the source material, but then it never really references it in a very good way. It was a confused movie. It was confused by its own existence. Oh, one more thing before we go. I had forgot till I watched it again that the cop in the movie is the same guy that's the principal in Back to the Future movies. It's the same guy. And I cracked up because I was like, this guy plays he was the principal in the other one, he's a cop in this one, but he plays the same character, and I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. But he plays this
you can put it on the
He plays this same character, but he's a cop in one and then he's the principal in the front.
I only went with the top 18.
Yeah. But overall, it's fun. Watch it. Have fun with it. That's going to be about it for Masters of the Universe. Hopefully we'll get to make one of these when they make a sequel for the new one. Who knows? It just depends on what happens with the box office. You'll enjoy it if you haven't seen it. And if worst case scenario, if you watch it just because 1987 Masters of the Universe is a bad movie, you're going to enjoy making fun of it. So you really can't lose. So
right. And if you want us to review something else, also put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Then we'll kind of put our heads together and see if we do or do not.
Give us what's interesting to you. We'll talk about it because I'm guaranteeing we've seen it. I probably own it.
At least one of us has seen it.
And we can deep dive into it. If you want to hear more detail behind, I know there's a lot of videos out, 10 things you didn't know about. We could do that. But it seems like
you didn't know about Back to the Future.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of that out there. If you want to see some of that, let us know. I can go into some more detail with stuff more than just kind of shooting the crap sitting on the couch, which is kind of like, every good story.
If you have any questions about Superman, direct them toward him.
Yeah, I might have the answer. All right, guys, we're glad to be back in the saddle, doing some movie reviews. Got some more stuff going. We got things being planned, things being written, scripts written. It's just finding the time to do it. So
Yeah, because we both have busy schedules.
it's kind of let
You with all the church stuff, family stuff.
life.
Me with just work in general.
It's the toils of independent filmmaking. Is you make it when you can and when you got the energy to do it. Yep, it's doing life. So.
And no, this is not like a midlife crisis type thing.
No. I haven't bought any.
It's just life in general.
It's just how it is. Well, guys, we appreciate you. Be sure to follow. Make sure that you're watching along with us. Comment down below. Hit that subscribe button, like button, all those different things. Let us know what you're thinking. Share this. Help us continue to put out excellence entertainment.
Share it everywhere.
All over the place. All social media.
Facebook, Instagram. If you want to share it on YouTube, you could.
Whatever you want to do. Be sure to be staying up to date with everything because we've got more coming your way. But that's all that I got.
Yeah, I know I got 3 scripts. You got at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
it's in the works. It's in the works.
Just got to get the time.
Got to get the time to do it. It's just scheduling.
And probably the actors too.
Yeah,
that might help.
Yeah. Although I think we could probably do everything.
Yeah.
I think we could do it. Yeah.
We've done it before.
Yeah. Sometimes it turns
As
out.
you all know.
Turns out better that way sometimes. All right. Glad to be back. Glad to see you guys. Be sure to comment down below. I'm the Wolf.
I'm the Wingman.
You guys stay classy, YouTube.